is Lightning being sent back. Okay, this is not looking good. CubeX, the barrage coming in from his DP is not stopping at all. Fragger certainly does steal the kill away from CubeX, but eventually it was him and him only was able to bring that communication for him. Oh, I'm not liking the fact that there's a McLaren there. The McLaren, the car that we've spoken about so many times, the showroom and the fights that Venom Legend has been part of around that car as well has been absolutely beautiful. But sadly, it seems that this car has turned into a demise situation for the lads of Venom Legends, as they've got one kill, yes, and that was Hex from Team IR, I believe. But eventually, two of the lads have been sent back into the lobby. Rafat right here, creating some few more smokes. Maybe he will try and get into the water, is what I'm thinking. Yep, that's exactly what he's going to try and do. He's going to get himself into the scuba dive gear and get out of that precarious situation that he finds himself in. But Cubex, he is no joke. He knows what is going on, mate. He has the information. He's going to be bringing in that lead into the water. And Frypan, dude, what can you do for your teammate? You have no options right here but to be able to somehow get down to the beach area, get down to Cubex's position, flank him position, so as to be able to get Team IR's cube away. But boy, oh boy, this is looking like a really tricky situation, because after all, these lads ended up spending 4 to 5 minutes in this fight, and the circle has certainly shifted away from them.
Wow, and this just like a chess game, Blotter. Rafat was so amazing down there. He was trying to move away, but Cube, he had the vehicle also with him. Frypan was stationed so beautifully. The direction where Rafat was trying to swim, he was trying to bring Frypan into the game so that he...
That is also leading down barrage towards the side of A1 Esports, the Sinister.
Yep, Sinister is down there. That's not a really good sight for all the A1 Esports fan. We'll see that what is going to happen in that fight further ahead. But for now, we have on our screens What's in Pajamas holding up. This entire zone is shifted quite towards the northern side. This closing third circle, we are watching these areas just outside the area of Severny right now. So What's in Pajamas holding up. It's a pretty decent space, but right on top of
the kills is what this team is walking away with, looking pretty good, bringing in some knocks, and that is what IPG need right now. But keep in mind, onto the left flank is A1 Esports' player as well. As we were just looking at Iron Man, we do have Dante, we do have Sinister right there setting themselves up. Behind them is going to be 1952, and boy oh boy, this could turn into an interesting statement for A1 Esports' placement, because Sinister is a bit too far apart from Dante, and again, that sort of an approach this late in the game is maybe could very well backfire, but we'll see how it turns out to be.
Look at that, Blotter. Frypan was on the edge. We had A1 Esports playing edges, Inferno Parasites playing edges, 1952 playing edges, and suddenly this new shift of the zone, the new shift of the fifth zone, entirely onto the city of Severny. This is going to be an exciting urban finish, ladies and gentlemen. Just hold on. Not a lot of angles for the players to play with. There's going to be a lot of concrete cover, abundant cover for all these teams. There are going to be a good amount of players inside the final circle, and I'm really excited for this one. Let's see how Bad Intentions are going to move their way inside the city, because the place where they are holding up is a very crucial point, because only the southern half of the city, outside the city, is part of the playing area, and where they are holding up, they have got a good cover with the vehicles. They have got a shack to play with. There's a beautiful ridge that gives them cover from the city, but KSX is eyeing that right now. The push is on there onto the players of Bad Intentions. Fahim gets Xenox down. There are players going down, 2 players down from KS. Ifty trying to give the cover from behind. He's shooting but not giving any sort of damage to Fahim, but Fahim is looking to capitalize on the knocks that he has just delivered onto the players of KS. This is not looking good for KS. They were looking to make a comeback, chase down on A1 Esports and 1952, but Bad Intentions really do have some bad intentions about them. They're playing a really good strategic game at this point.
They most certainly are in control of this fight, no two ways about it. I mean, KSX certainly seemed like they would be able to convert this push into a fight of their own, but eventually, just that one lad from Bad Intentions seems to have been a bit too much for KSX, and eventually, Bad Intentions will walk away with 5 kills, the points that they so very much needed. And right now, it is none other than Stalker taking a complete reign off the barrage, because it is IPG at the receiving end and has been sent back into the lobby. Boy, oh boy, we've got 11 teams remaining, 21 minutes into the game, and as you were mentioning, Trooper, we are looking at a Severny final circle.
Yup, it's an amazing Severny final circle, and finally an urban finish for me. That's exactly what I love inside the final circles. ABC on the southern side. 1952, look at that. They were towards the western edge of the circle. Now they are finding themselves right into the middle of the city. They've banged their vehicle inside, attacking teams down there. Let's see if 1952 is going to get the better out of this situation. All the 4 players are alive for 1952. It is Martyrs 1971 that is holding on to the northeast part of the city right now. But towards the northwest, we have already got Future Station. They are on the other side of the road. They are playing with Split. They've got multiple houses to play with. So there are more windows for them to manipulate the city. Let's see what sort of an impact they're going to make. That big barn house is in control of Eccentric Infinity, and Bad Intentions still on the southern tip of the city right now.
I mean, we've got 10 teams remaining, but amongst them, 4 of the teams that are part of the 10 teams remaining are only surviving with a one-man army. We've got IPG right there with 5 kills, but only a one-man squad. X Brothers looking at 2 kills with one-man army. But again, as this conversation moves on, it is Venom also who find themselves with only a one-man squad for the moment. But thankfully, that one man is going to be in the circle. Those who are not are certainly the lads who are, well, BIT right here, that is going to be Bad Intention. I mean, they are, or rather were, looking pretty good as they took on the fights, but now as they try and get themselves into the zone, Martyrs have a different setup, energy for themselves. Behind Martyrs, though, is going to be a team that we were keeping an eye out for. It is none other than Future Station.
And right now the property rates in Silverny have gone so high. 10 teams right now inside Silverny, in or around Silverny. But the problem for Bad Intention now is they do not have the zone, so they got to move towards the city. That is exactly what they're doing. Using up the smokes, using up the vehicles. They just want to get to that concrete cover, and exactly what Stalker has done. But I don't see any casualties inside the kill feed for them. So luckily, most of the players of Bad Intentions have executed this move perfectly. They have not lost a player, and that was the difficult part for them. They're running out in the open, but still managing it to get their players inside the city without losing anyone. So this is the good thing for Bad Intentions. This was the bad execution for them. But what a nade coming in! ABC NBSQ eliminated. This is 1952 in. This is Bad Intentions in action. Copper got that nade inside and eliminated ABC completely. Bad Intentions really making a serious impact over the city of Silverny right now.
They most certainly are, and it is 1952 who seem to have taken a better half of this fight against Bad Intentions, where eventually Bad Intention has lost 2 of their players, or at least one of the players have been knocked and one have been sent back into the lobby, because it is 1952 pushing on along. Copper going to fall back and go back to his teammates. That's going to be Winter, who is trying to revive Stalker. Stalker will be revived as of now. Copper is going to try and get himself heal set up, because eventually we are looking at 18 surviving. Bad Intentions have had some really good intention in the game when it comes to the blood that they've showcased all across left, right, center, front. But now, will they be able to walk out of this situation they find themselves in, where it is 1952, Sharpex and Magnet who are looking the better, the wiser ones in the fight, because they have the information, they have the communication on themselves, and slowly and steadily it seems like the location that they have set themselves up in as well is going to be favoring them, because Sharpex goes on to a flank on the higher tangent. Magnet is going to be sticking close, so there will be a constant pressure for Bad Intention, and they are a 4-man army. Keep that in mind as well. So 1952 looking really good, but we have Future Station still part of this game.
Yeah, Future Station is still part of the game. They've really got good numbers in the tally already. 5 kills already for Future Station. Bad Intentions got 8. 1952 got 7. But the important thing here is that Bad Intentions have lost only just 1 player. That is something they were missing out to do on up till this point, but they are doing good for now. But look at that, as I say, the caster curse. Oh my god, Winter goes down to that nade. Let's really hope that they can come out of that cluster, because the zone has once again shifted away from Bad Intention. It has moved towards the area where Martyrs 1971 and Future Station is holding up right now. So all these teams towards the southern part of the church, be it 1952, be it Eccentric Infinity, be it Bad Intentions, they are under some pressure now. They got to use their utilities now. What sort of utilities is left? That is going to be the question. The smokes are going to be the key. Eccentric Infinity, they have popped a lot of smokes. They are trying to cross the road just like Bad Intentions did from the southern end. They are coming in from the southwest side now, and they've got some serious strikes onto the church. That is really nice for them, working in their favor, because 1952 has also got 1 player inside the church already.
This is looking like a 1952 game as of now, but we shall have to see as to how this turns out to be, because Eccentric have made the rotation and find themselves in the zone right in front of them. To greet them is going to be 1952, as well as the players of Future Station, and right next to Future Station's placement is going to be Venom Legend, final player, who was just so so very close, but still has not given away the information. Move that towards, of course, Bad Intention, a team that we had been looking at. They were looking pretty comfortable with 8 kills is what that team had. But now, as they make the rotation, that team, that army has been brought down to 1 man knocked and 1 man remaining. Right now, Future Station and 1952 are the ones who are finding themselves in a really good compound situation that is working for them. And right there, we do see Frypan from Venom Legends. So close to Badrey of Future Station and the entirety of Future Station, actually, but not giving away that information as of now.
Yep, Frypan surviving there, but not does Bad Intention. The Eccentric Infinity eventually fall down. There was a beautiful nade by Badrev that really did the damage for them, but it was capitalized onto by his teammate as well. So that is the end for Eccentric Infinity. But look at Phantom Esports. Iron Man, he's playing like one Iron Man to be really true there. He's trying to survive out there. He's got a cover behind the wall. The play area is still there with me. He would just be hopeful that some other teams get eliminated as when he gets to get inside. But Marius 1971, what an impressive decision for them. It would be a lucky decision, I would say, but it really turned out in their favor. They're still here and making an impression. Look at that. Entry goes down. Magnet has taken down Machine for now. So teams, they are so close to each other. Still 16. This is the 8th circle, ladies and gentlemen. And 15 players are still fighting. There's a huge possibility of heal battle there down in the final circle. But is that going to happen or not? We're going to find that pretty shortly. But X Brothers also, they were here eliminated in the 6th position.
And now we are left with 5 teams remaining, of which 2 of them are going to be surviving with only a 1-man army. I mean, I have to give kudos to Frypan and the way he's placed himself. You know, he's still working towards the team entirely, had only 1 kill, but as of now, what he's working towards is, of course, going to be the placement points. And so very lucky that Future Station was so close to his position, but they did not even decide to enter the track. Now, Iron Man has been sent into the lobby, so that means that Phantom goes back, thus giving that much more of a chance for Venom to walk into the better placement points. 1952's Church is being registered against them. It is going to be none other than the team that will push on along and try and make things really difficult. It is Future Station. Right now, Trophic is down, Magnet has been brought down, Sharpix and Entry are the 2-man surviving. Future Station have a better half of this fight. They should be able to push on along inside, but eventually that is not the communication because Martyrs are out there and Martyrs are bringing down lead towards the side of Future Station. Future Station's nades are so on point. Machine trying his level best, but dude, this is not looking good for 1952.
Definitely, this is not looking good. They have been engraved inside the church. Sort of a horror story here for 1952. But can they come out of it? That is going to be the question. Entry falls down to that damage from the Molly. But now Future Station, they got to move as well because they do not have a lot of angle to play with. The play zone is right behind their back. Iron Man has already been eliminated. Frypan still makes it to the top 4 here. Marty's 1971 still have a really good area to play with. They've got some sort of a breathing space as well. But kudos to 1952. The way they have survived, just denied to fall down there to those utilities of Future Station. They're still fighting inside. And look at that. Still 3 players standing from 1952. You never know when they're going to turn this fight on their head. And look at this. This is, and we might just have a new leader on the overall position here, Blotter, and we are looking at 1952. They are seriously making some serious strides onto that overall standing with this performance in this Pochinki Church, in this Severny Church right now. Future Station right next to them beside 1952 and Martyrs 1971. They've got a lot of space to play with.
Well, talking about space, it is Future Station's Kapshi and, of course, Machine, who do not have a lot of space as they were trying to just inch themselves towards what was remaining of that final circle. We're in the 9th circle, boys and girls. This is just phenomenal that we still have 8 people alive, but eventually a push will need to be made. It is Martyrs who are pushing on along. It is going to be Magnet, Tophic, as well as Sharp, who can try and bring down the players of Future Station. They will be able to do so and walk away with 10 points, 10 defeat points towards the side of 1952. Now, Martyrs have been eliminated, thus bringing the conversation down towards a 3v1 situation that no ways it'll go down.
1952, they took it, they clutched it, Blotter. They eliminated Martins 1971 outside the wall. They had so much space outside to play with. The Future Station made sure that they gave the damage. 1952 capitalized. For a moment there, it looked like that 1952 would go down. But they came out, they used the smoke so brilliantly, rushed out in the open, eliminated Future Station, shaking it up for 1952. And definitely look at that. Hashtag 1 position on the last and final day, on the opening game. They are here leading from the front with just 4 games remaining now.
This is just unexpected. Honestly, the way this team is playing is ferocious. You know, yesterday's game, second last game, they got a chicken. Move on to the final game on Wrangle, they got a chicken. Now for final day's first game, they start off their killing barrage with 11 kills. First position is certainly going to be theirs. The only question is how far a lead have they created for themselves when it comes to the points. And in all of this, I do have to give kudos to Fry Pan. I mean, Venom Legends Fry Pan was a survivor in all of that. It is just hilarious as to how was Future Station's players not able to get themselves into his nose. But again, whatever the conversation was, eventually Future Station also did play really well. They were second in the game, and it is the MVP that we're going on down towards. It is Evil Eye from Future Station with 1295 damage dished out, along with 4 kills and 1 assist.
What a game, brother. I always love urban finishes there. And for the opening day of a grand finale, on the last day of a final urban circle in Severny, Future Station, Bad Intentions, 1952. Martis 1971 were playing a wonderful game, and kudos really to Fry Pan. It was not easy being a solo player to enter a city that is occupied by 9 opponent teams, and almost 30 people were alive when he entered the city. It was an amazing job that he did. And you got to know how to survive in these strategies. And he was there right in the center of the city. He was inside that shack for so long time, and he made sure that his team went to the top 4. Amazing performances from so many people, so many players out there. But Evil Eye, Sharp, Machine and Magnet are going to go away with the top 4 spot for this game.
Top players coming in right here. I mean, Sharpex, Magnet, 5 and 4 kills respectively. On the other tangent, you move on to the second placeholder from this game. Again, 2 lads with the same exact stat when it comes to the kill department. It is going to be Machine with 5 kills and Evil Eye with 4. So a beautiful turn of wins for both these teams eventually. Of course, there's nothing separating the play that they made, because after all, when this game started, we were looking at 1952 being second on the overall, and it was Future Station on third. Now, with this sort of kill department that they've brought to the table, both these teams with only 1 point difference. Wow, Future Station 13 kills, 1952 11 kills. Both of these teams, when it comes to the overall, are going to be competing against A1 Esports. And sadly, or interestingly, I should say, A1 Esports is not even part of the first page of this match ranking.
I would brag here, brother. I would brag here. This is exactly what I predicted, right? If 1952 and Future Station get chicken dinners in the opening games in the first 2 games, and look at the points, 26-25, almost like a chicken dinner points over here for 1952 and Future Station. A1 Esports now is going to be under tremendous pressure because they had the title. You already said that it was $10,000 for them to be the taking, but now they got to come back. They've slipped down from the first position on the last and final day, on the opening day. On the opening game now, just 4 matches remaining. Can they make a comeback now? That is going to be the question. It's always that situation for A1 Esports. They always put themselves under that situation where they have to make a comeback, and it's going to be nothing different in the PubG Mobile Campus Championship Bangladesh 2021 this time as well. Can they make the comeback in the last day? That is the question for now.
And this is where the entirety of the game went against Venom Legend and replacement, all thanks to IR, where only Fry Pan was the final man surviving. But kudos to him for having survived for such a long time now. Bad Intention, they had a beautiful game this time around. I think they walked away with 7-8 kills for themselves. So that is just kudos to them. They were 4th in the overall, in the match ranking from this first game. So when it comes to the overall, Bad Intention is certainly looking at a pretty good game and a pretty good start to the day as well, because we still have 4 games remaining. So let's move on to the overall. Have a look at 1952. Yes, they are leading as of now, but there is a difference being created between the first, second, third placeholders for now, because when it comes to the points is what these players are going to be trying to work towards, and slowly but surely will be grinding to get into that top tier. But which team is it going to be? I don't know. It's getting close now.
Wow. 1952, the defending champions for the title, reclaiming their throne on the last day. Amazing. That is going to be an amazing thing to see if they can carry this lead till the last and final game. Still, the lead is still thin for 1952. A1 Esports, their comeback is really possible for them. But look at IR. They have now slipped out of that top 4, out of that front page. That is not a really good sign for them. Martis 1971 making sure to consolidate their position on the front page. But Bad Intentions also with 54 points, they are really looking to make the things go in the positive direction now. If they continue with this sort of a performance in each and every game, they are definitely going ahead to the first page.
They most certainly are going to be. That is so very true indeed. But that is going to be a conversation that only time can answer for us for now. Because, I mean, the way this lobby is turning out to be, this is just annihilating play coming in from the lads. And with that, 1952's team card is also looking pretty ferocious for now, where 82 being the number that certainly stands out for all of these players. But yep, that is just the start. That is just the first game of the day. We still have 4 more games remaining. Now, Wrangle, that was just an intense battle that took place. But now to slow things down, I believe, we are going to be moving into the map of Miramar, where things could maybe go a bit more interesting because, after all, it is going to get extended. But do not go anywhere. We are going to go on a very, very short break, after which, like I said, Miramar is coming right up.
Ladies and gentlemen, to another exclusive interview. Now, this time we've got you, the pioneers who started it all in the Bangladeshi region. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am talking about Kapshi, all the way from Future Station. So, Kapshi, how have you been?
Good.
Well, I mean, now you guys were the ones who started it all in your region, right? So, how has that feeling been? What were the challenges that you encountered?
I mean, INS qualify for PMPL S1.
Right.
So S1 এ কোয়ালিফাই করার পর আই থিংক আমারে আইএনএস থেকে ইনভিটেশন আসে যে তুমি আমাদের প্লেয়ার হয়ে খেলতে পারো। তো তখন থেকেই আমি আর কি আমার যে জার্নিটা শুরু হয়। এখন পর্যন্ত অনেকগুলোই খেলছি। So feel good.
So how has the support exactly been from your parents? You know, before you were successful and now that you are. So how supportive are they?
So আমরা আমি যখন পিএমপিএল S1 খেলি তখন আর কি প্যারেন্টস থেকে তেমন একটা সাপোর্ট ছিল না, কি করতেছস না করতেছস, কি খেলতেছস। সো দেন পরবর্তীতে যখন পত্রিকা এন্ড ইউটিউবে কিছু কভারেজ আসে তখন আর কি আমার একটা ছাড় দেয় যে খেল, ওকে নো প্রবলেম। এবং লকডাউনে ছিল যার কারণে বেশি একটা দেয় নাই, চাপ দেয় নাই। দ্যাটস ওয়াই আর কি এখন বর্তমানে ভালো সাপোর্ট দেয়, এখন অল ওকে।
So, you know, apart from playing PubG Mobile, do you have any other hobbies?
আমার হবি আছে যে আমি ফুটবল এন্ড ক্রিকেট খেলতে ভালোবাসি এন্ড বন্ধুদের সাথে চিল করতেও ভালোবাসি।
Who's that one player in your team, you know, after getting knocked out is like, guys, I need a revive. Fast, guys, someone needs to come and give me that revive. Who is that one person who constantly, you know, yells around for a revive?
It's my teammate Evilai.
Does he do this quite often, or is it kind of like, you know, once in a while?
No. Continue.
What have you done to, you know, really improvise that, and you've made it to the finals, and that to quite dominating manner. So, what changes have you made in your gameplay?
Okay, তো আমরা PMPL S3 তে আমরা হয়তো কোয়ালিফাই করতে পারিনি ফর ফাইনাল। তো ওদিকে অনেক কিছু মিস্টেক ছিল আমাদের, তো এটা আমরা কভার আপ করার জন্য কিছু চেঞ্জেস আছে আনি। জাস্ট লাইক বাদরের ভাই এজ এ আইজিএল ছিল অন পিএমপিএল। সো দেন নেক্সট আমরা পিএমসিসি শুরু করি এজ এ ইভিলাই আইজিএল নাও রাইট নাও ইভিলাই আইজিএল। তো এদিকে অনেক কিছু আমাদের ইমপ্রুভ হয়।
Let's talk about your rotations. Nowadays, we are witnessing that you're taking a lot of mid-game fights. So, are you going to continue with that? Are you going to continue with that aggression that you are showing? Or do we expect something different from your squad in the finals?
As Badr Bhai, entry figure is a good person. I mean,
yeah,
good entry figure. And Machine Bhai as a supporter, অনেক ভালো খেলে। And আমি as a mid player খেলি, and I think so এটাই রানিং করলে better.
You know, there are a lot of fans who look up to you. So, any message that you want to send to them before we head out?
আগেও দিয়ে গেছেন সাপোর্ট, তো এখনো দিতেছেন, ইনশাআল্লাহ আবার পরেও দিবেন, I hope. So that's it, keep supporting.
Simple and straight. Keep supporting. You've been there with them in their bad times. You definitely want to be with them in their good times as well. On that note, thank you so much, Kapshi, for joining with us, and we wish you all the best for your finals. Good luck, buddy.
Are you keeping it real? I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the sea? Kicking up the dust, if you know what I mean. We got a good thing going. We got a good thing going on.
Hello and welcome to PubG Mobile Campus Championship Bangladesh region. Final day is upon us. Finals Cup final day is upon us. $30,000 on the line, and it is all thanks to Oppo F19 Pro. Hashtag Book Up Your Fun. We've got one game done. That was just some crazy play coming in, Trooper. As you had mentioned, as you had predicted, it will maybe go down towards Savoni area, and it did. But dude, what do you predict now when it comes to the map of Miramar?
Well, let's see. It was an amazing game, to be honest, brother. We were talking behind the camera as well. It was an amazing starting game for this entire campaign on the last and final day. And the way Martis 1971, they had so much space. They were so much confident down there. They came out, but both the teams, Future Station and 1952, they just wiped them in seconds. It was just like disaster hitting the team of Martis 1971, and the brilliant use of smokes coming in from 1952. Future Station had no idea, taking away the chicken. Amazing opening game, but now have Miramar here in front of us. From Minas Del Sur to that Oasis region, top of the Lacob area city. This is the playing path for us, a slightly western playing path, I would say, but sort of centrish as well. There are going to be a lot of cities that are accessible from this playing path, so not a lot of problems for these teams. They always have those secondary drop locations as well, which they're going to go for, but not a lot of problems for these lads. Let's see how this game proceeds. Is Avon Esports going to be the Miramar King, as they have been so many times acclaimed from the region? Are they going to prove and come up as the Miramar King? Because let me just remind you, this is the last and final Miramar from the entire Campus Championship Bangladesh region for this season. So let's see who is going to conquer the lands of the deserts of Miramar this time.
Well, you are absolutely true that this is going to be the final game for this Bangladesh Regions Campus Championship on the map of Miramar. But yesterday, if we go back to day number 2 of the finals, it was Infernal Parasites who did outshine the competition quite blatantly with 13 kills that they walked away with, and the chicken dinner, of course. So, and also keeping in mind the previous game that we were just part of, this team of Infernal Parasites was looking good. Talking about A1 Esports on day 2, A1 Esports was nowhere to be seen, honestly. And again, talking about day 3, the final day, A1 Esports is not having a good start. So maybe it's the pressure that's getting a bit tricky for A1 Esports. But of course, that is an experienced team, so we can expect that team to rise back up from the ashes. But right now, as we walk into this game itself, we have a pretty comfortable circle being drawn out, and all the teams pretty much find themselves very, very close to the circle for now. Talking about the center of the circle, it is going to be Montenueno and Power Grid. As of now, when it comes to early skirmishes, what could we expect? I am looking at the Los Leones region, where we've got A1 Esports, we've got Infernal Parasites, we've got ABC, and up north to their position is going to be Cases Axe as well. So a tricky situation for these teams that are finding themselves towards the Los Leones region, but keeping in mind that this map, it is humongous. It's a humongous map. Even though right now from the map screen it seems like those teams are so very close, A1 Esports and IPG right there, but on the map itself, it is going to be really difficult to spot down those players because there's just so much of city area down towards that Los Leones region.
So true, so true, and I'm really glad. And I'm going to pick A1 Esports for the conversation this time, and it's just the fact regarding them that they got just 96 points in the first 4 games, and in the last 7 games that they have played, they've just managed to get 50. So if you consider the amount of points these other lads are also getting, this is not a really good number for A1 Esports, right? With just 50 points in the last 7 games, they are giving this opportunity for other teams to come inside and take that #1 position away from them after that ferocious start, as you said a little while back. And this is not the kind of thing you expect from a champion team. And I'm really disappointed with A1 Esports at this time. Even as the games were going on yesterday, they really were not able to leave that mark. But still, they got 4 games, and they got to realize that they really need a big game to set the pace in their favor, because it's been 7 games in a trot that they have not been impressive at all. So they really got to come back. At least a final circle finish is what I am expecting out of A1 Esports to bring the challenge back. Because if 1952 goes ahead with any more chicken or a final circle finish, I don't think then A1 Esports is going to be able to catch them, and or any other team is going to be able to catch them, and they might just run away. The defending champions might just run away with the entire $10,000 on the last and final day.
Absolutely true. But one more thing I do, or rather, sorry, one more team that I do want to bring our attention towards is going to be the green dots that you see on your screens. That is none other than Venom Legends. Now, Venom Legends, when it comes to their placement of the overall standings, is not looking too good, but it's favoring them. You know, based on the previous game, also that Fry Pan was able to convert into some really good placement points. This team, as of now, is sitting at the 6th position. But the way they are playing, I mean, look at the drop itself. It is a pretty fanned out, spread out drop, which means that they are really comfortable as well as confident that, you know what, whatever team is going to come on across, we are going to be fine. Even though we are 4 lads, part of the same team, but going to be going our separate ways, it should not matter. And that is something that that's the kind of mindset that maybe, you know, you've got the confidence, all right, that's fine, but it can very well be the reason of your downfall as well. And as I'm making that conversation, we can clearly see that Venom Legend is spreading their wings that much more further apart from each other.
Yeah, and, they hit like a storm, and to be really honest. And I've seen this team perform under adverse situation. When you would least expect Venom Legends to make a comeback, they would come back with back-to-back good performances. And you never know if the Desert Storm is going to hit in the form of Venom Legends on these entire lads or not. But we'll find that out pretty soon. But about the split drop location strategy from them, it's not a new strategy that Venom Legend is playing with, and definitely that might be the chance, that might just be the problem in the gameplay, that they find themselves too far away from each other and cannot help each other or transfer that information to each other about if there is any other team or enemies in the vicinity. That might just be the problem. And when they do the homework after the tournament, maybe, because that is something they can look out for if that is not working in their favors. But I've seen Rafat and Nightwing do some amazing things in the recent past as well, and it's really I would say it's disappointing that they are not in the contention of the title right now. I really expected them to outshine in these 15 matches, but I would have to say that everyone cannot come at the top, right? It's almost like the comeback story for Future Station before the start of the semifinals. They were not finding the right rhythm, the right momentum, and it was a big patch of unsuccessful games and results for Future Station. But in the semi-final and the final stage, they have come up like the team we know them for a very long time, and it's really good for Future Station to have that comeback. So I hope that Future Station, in the remaining 4 matches that they have in their hand, they just go there and go in for the title. That is what I'm expecting at this point.
Absolutely, dude. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed for the same exact result, of course, because after all, as we look on to the overall standings that is on our screens right now, see, we've got NRZ Esports that is keeping themselves on the 16th. At least they find themselves on the 16th for now. Centric is on the 15th spot with 39 points. And as you go up from that 16th position all the way up to the 10th position, the difference between the points itself is quite a lot, actually. It's quite a lot, from 37 to 67. And then from 10 to the 5th position itself, that is where things kind of trickle down towards not that big of a difference. One good game and you can call the game to be yours, right? From 67 to 97 basically is what you're looking at. And from there, from that 4th position holders to the 1st position holders, it's a complete different saga to step into. I mean, 97 point is where Matthias on 4th position find themselves. You talk about the 3rd position holder, that's 117 for Future Station, Aeon Esports with 146 points, and 1952 with 157, leading the charts. So the entire lobby is pretty fanned out when it comes to the points that they've been able to collect for themselves. The teams that are doing good are doing so good that they are just in a completely different barrage of their own. And then the teams that are below that 10th marker is they're just trying, and well, like we saw by Retention showcase that sort of a play from 16 to the climb that they've been able to do. But eventually it is going to be tricky. It is going to be really tricky because only 4 games remain. So when it comes to, who is going to be on top, well, yeah, there are a few names that we can actually point out that we know for a fact will probably be the ones that will be contesting.
Definitely, and it's interesting that you bring up Marty's 1971. I would take this opportunity to confess that on the first look, this team did not look like that they're going to sit on the top 4 on the last and final day. But suddenly here they are making some serious impact. And one serious aspect of their game is they stick together. They play together as a team. And just like you mentioned, Venom Legends a little while earlier, they play with the split strategy and all the things around them. But Marty's 1971, on the other hand, from the word go, from the initial stages of the game, they stick together. They play as a team. They all, by the looks of it, they communicate really good, and they know the positions in the final circle, and that is why they were able to hold on to the Severny circle to the last minute. They were not getting knocked at. They were taking they were giving the damages rather than taking it. And if you remember yesterday's Miramar game as well, they were right playing together behind 1952 in that final circle, and that really helped them get some important positioning points as well.
Absolutely, and that is again going to be for now, as we go on along, it is Venom Legends Rafat who finds himself in a very precarious situation against ABC and has been knocked and sent back apparently into the lobby as well. So it seems like we are starting off the fights. That was just a kill feed information that I'm sharing, boys and girls. But yeah, on our screens we're just seeing a hitman of Martyrs jumping across the dunes of this wonderful map and near his teammates, and we shall have to see that where exactly can we go on towards for the early contestations. As of now, it is certainly turning out to be a bit of a slow start, as is expected, especially when it comes to the map of Miramar.
Yeah, sure, certainly. And already 1952 have lost a player. Sharp has been eliminated. So that is sort of a setback for the new leaderboard champions right now. So let's see if they are going to play and certainly compete with those 3 players. Another team that I would like to bring into conversation is KSX, right? Before the start of the day, they were inside the top 5. They were making some serious impacts in the overall standing, and they were looking good. They were looking in for the charge, right? When we started the day, we were talking that the top 5 teams are the teams that can go ahead and go for that #1 title or top 6. But now KSX is sort of slipping out of that position with that one bad game, that one bad movement against bad intentions. If that fight had gone in their favor, imagine what KSX could have done to the overall standing. They might just be in the top 3 as well at this point. But now when they are missing out on matches, on important crucial matches, they are certainly giving away opportunities for other teams to pounce upon, and that is exactly what teams like Future Station are doing at this point.
Most certainly. I mean, that is going to be something to keep an eye out for and look out towards, because again, when it comes to these teams, and whoa, there we go. We've got Venom Legends. That is going to be brought down. Another player being knocked and sent back in the lobby. That is going to be steel shot at the receiving end. Frypan being the 3rd one from the team, and it is not looking good for Nightwing as he's the only one remaining. But again, without any problem at all. All the lads have been sent back into the lobby. On the 16th position is where we find Venom Legends, thanks to ABC's early aggression. And that's not done yet, because we find Raka right here, who is now going to be bringing down a lot of barrage of lead towards the players of Team IR, if only he could spot them.
The storm just hit Venom Legends, right? They were not going to be the storm this game, and it is certainly going to slip them further down in the overall standing. Not a good information for all the fans out there for Venom Legends. I'm certainly disappointed that they've taken a quick exit inside Miramar, but still they've got 3 more matches to make an impact. Let's see what they're going to do in those 3 matches. But here, ABC would be really happy with this outcome, not losing any player out there, just getting all the 4 kills, that too of Venom Legends. And when you complete the squad that you have just eliminated, you get to know which was the last player you killed. So they exactly know that they have pushed out Venom Legends out of the lobby.
They most certainly have, and docking on down towards the kill feed itself, it is Eccentric that is certainly showcasing themselves into the kill feed, along with which, when it comes to Team IR and their placement and position, well, they are looking on towards the position of Future Station because they were able to spot out a little bit of a smoke situation, but Team IR does not know that there is a team right above them, and that team is going to be none other than ABC, and so if ABC chooses to bring down that lead of Barrage, then it is going to be really, really difficult for Team IR. Eventually, it seems like that's not going to be an issue, and QX as well as Break right here are going to be able to walk out of the situation absolutely fine. On the other tangent, as we move on towards Future Station, they were taking a fight against the lads of Phantom Esports from the looks of it, and yep, that is the case where it is Kapshi who will easily be able to bring down Iron Man all by himself. And it's not only Iron Man, eventually it is going to be the other lads of Phantom as well, who do not find themselves in a decent situation, because it is Iron Man 1, but along with that, Sick Boy and all the others who will be sent back to the lobby thanks to Future Station placement.
Yeah, already 2 kills in the tally of Future Station blotter here. And look at the split strategy coming in for Future Station. This is the split strategy they infamously use inside fights as well. They're not sticking around behind the same ridges. They're not using multiple angles from the same ridge. They're always a little separated from each other. There's always a gap between the players of Future Station, and they always try to capitalize on it. And with the vehicles and the movement that they can execute over here, they try to make an impact. But are they going to make that impact in this game or not? I'm going to look out for that, because this is a very, very tricky situation for Future Station. If they get important points in the mid game of Miramar, it's going to certainly help their cause. But if the split strategy finds them in a trap situation, it's going to be very difficult for them to make that comeback, because 952 and A1 Esports will certainly add on to their points and will create that margin for them. So the pressure is going to increase on them constantly. But how are they going to react? We're going to watch that closely. But for now, we've got multiple fights erupting inside the map of Miramar. We have just crossed the 15th minute mark. Still 15 teams, 53 players alive. Only Venom Legends pushed out of the lobby.
Absolutely, and it seems like as of now we were looking at some sort of a rivalry being created between the players, because who from Phantom was the final player surviving, and he was able to bring his attention towards the final player, towards the player who was making the life situation of Future Station. But move our conversation towards this fight that is on our screens, where Eccentric have pushed on to the position of Martyrs, and it is going to be no problem at all for Eccentric to get this fight converted into their favor. But again, they cannot stick around for long, because the journey continues on, and the circle is asking them to leave 1,000 meters away. That's a long rotation that this team is going to have to make. For now, we do see Thunder has been knocked from the side of this team, and it is Shoykot who will be brought down as well, thanks to the zone and the damage. 1,000 meters, not an easy task. We'll have to come back to that team if they will be able to find themselves in the zone. Eccentric losing another player, Thunder going down. So yeah, tricky situation, tricky rotation, a late rotation, but we'll find out in a few moments as to if they will be able to make that rotation for themselves. And as I talk about it, Choicot and all are going down as well. So Future Station is where we will take our eyes towards, and Future Station, as they did try and make that rotation, the 3 lads of Future Station find themselves against the placement of Bots in Pajamas. Bots in Pajamas are trying to well copy. It's not looking good. Yep, he will be knocked, and Shadat will be able to convert that perfect point.
And at the same instant, Bidrev also goes down. So they were a 4-man squad like seconds ago, and now they're down to 2. And Kapshi going down there. I don't think the revive is possible for Bidrev as well, because the 4th circle has also started closing in now. So there's going to be a lot of damage from the blue zone as well. The revive is not going to be an easy thing to execute for Future Station. We'll just find out if they're going for the revive or going for the circle. That is also important, because most of the other teams have taken up important spots in the circle, and the vehicle for both these 2 lads is also not in a pretty good condition right now. They've just reach the edge. They're going to blow up their vehicle, create some sort of cover for themselves. They've got a tree and a vehicle to play with. The smokes are going to come in handy, but if either of them, one of them gets knocked here, things are going to get difficult for Future Station, and that is exactly what has happened. Machine goes down there. Just one last lad remaining there for Future Station. Can he hold on to the moment? Can he carry his team forward? Can he revive Machine and go ahead? No, Machine eliminated, and this is going to get difficult for Future Station now. But look at that. Dante's Mini on the roll on the left-hand side of the kill feed. That is exactly what the fans of A1 Esports are looking for at this moment and hoping for, certainly.
Well. Final player of Phantom Esports, that is Shubo, who was, of course, in the crosshairs of Future Station, or rather his teammates were. Eventually will find himself into the comfort of the zone, so that is looking real good. But along with that, talk about stories turning out. Now Future Station's Evil Eye is the only man remaining for his team. He finds himself in the open, precarious situation on a map like Miramar. All he's got is, of course, all of these smoke walls that he can create. But for how long, dude? For how long will I be able to do so? Because as you bring in that smoke, you are giving away a lot of information, and the teams, they are going to be raining down that lead onto you. So really, really difficult situation that he finds himself in. Along with that, it is Bots and Pajamas, final player Shadat, who will be sent back into the lobby with that one kill that the team was able to get. Now we're looking at 13 teams remaining, 19 minutes in. This is where we are going to be a part of, or rather, we'll see all of these teams are going to be part of those third-party situations again and again and again.
Ooh, disaster hitting NRZ there. Trying to enter the zone. Stalker holding on to the height over there. Gatekeeping the two lads. NRZ players going down for them. Just one lad for NRZ I can see in the backdrop, and he's also being knocked over there. It's going to be a difficult situation. Really, really not good info for the lads of NRZ Esports. They have not been able to make impact in the finale stage, and it's been continuing for them in the Miramar game as well. Not a good information, but look at that cluster blotter on the western side. That is exactly where we are headed. The two other lads of NRZ right in front of the lads of Bad Intention as well. Moving on to the southern side, just outside the zone, this concrete cover of Infernal Parasites is no more going to be inside the play area, but 1952 as being the neighbors on the opposite side of the road. Let's see if there are going to be some shots that are going to be exchanged over here.
Well, of course, Infernal Parasites certainly want to get into the zone, certainly want to be able to take that control. That is, of course, as of now, 1952's players in, but eventually we will see how that fight turns out to be. Bad Intentions right here, looking pretty comfortable. Only a two-man army, Copper and Winter, working for themselves, trying to gain some points, trying to get some information against other players. But right now, we come back to this fight right here, where we do see Infernal Parasites players trying to push onto the compound of 1952's, but eventually, will that be allowed? 1952 are looking pretty comfortable, and not only that, actually, it seems like Infernal Parasites players are taking two individual fights right now. As they try and get into the zone, they want to be able to rush this compound, but along with that, I did see Woofers YT right here, who is taking fight onto the other side that is going to be behind the camera. And so pretty interesting situation that Infernal Parasites find themselves in. But in all of that, there we go. That is where Mahfouz was taking his fight towards. It was none other than X-Brothers that he had his crosshairs set for, and it seems like this is going to be an easy point for him. He's already been able to get that knock. All he needs is that kill, but with that, it is Bad Intention on the other side of the map that will be sent back into the lobby. And finally, the push is being made from the lads of Infernal Parasites. It is 1952 who are going to be at the receiving end, but we shall see. I mean, we've seen earlier as well, 1952 hold their ground pretty well in the previous game as well. So right now, it is Maggot who is going to be looking on down towards getting a few of those placement points, but it is a nade being brought on long. That will be enough to be able to bring down the lads of 1952. And Tofik and Entry, what can you showcase, dude? What are you going to be bringing against the lads of Infernal Parasites? Because they are looking to dominate you right now.
And Tawfiq has just stolen one kill from Dictator. Tiazi got that knock when the push was being made. Bad Intentions eliminated already, and so is Future Station out of the game. But now, is 1952 going to get eliminated? And Infernal Parasites, they're losing on to players. And look at this, with that vehicle damage, he's just eliminated and claimed 2 knocks for himself. So Tawfiq gets 2 more points in his rally. 3 kills in total for Tawfiq out here, but there are still enemies inside the vicinity that he got to clear. Let's see what happens to Infernal Parasites from this situation onwards. Just Heaven remaining out there, and he's a good enough lad for both these two players. But can they stop Heaven on the tracks here? That is going to be the question. Tawfiq, Entry, rushing on to Heaven, who's holding on to the first floor, holding on to that TPP angle on the stairs. He's coming to the window now. Let's see, the nades are going to be the situation. And yes, that is going to be the end for Infernal Parasites. And so for KSX, at the exact same point, they have also been eliminated out of the game.
Boy, oh boy. I mean, that was a 4v3 situation that should have absolutely been in favor of Infernal Parasites. But the way 1952 hold their ground, boy, oh boy, you have to give it, you have to give credit to where it's due, basically. And this is where 1952 just always stands out. An Entry, being that fragger, that Entry fragger, that dude, he's just so very good. He was just on point with the nade, with the communication, and was able to take that kill, no problem at all. So this team of 1952 right now find themselves with 4 points all to themselves. Tofik is out on the corner, and now they are going to try and get themselves into the zone, as the zone is 30 meters away. But move all the way towards the front. It is TRZ that is going to be right in front of 1952, and TRZ have all 4 members alive. So this is going to be an interesting situation. That is going to be TRZ, that if they can control this fight, if they can control the circle for themselves, because they've got the manpower. But we just noticed, I mean, for Parasites, they had the manpower. But, if you don't control that manpower with some communication and synergy, then it does not really matter how many team members you have alive, because eventually the other team is communicating better, is in better control of the information, and thus will be able to showcase that domination against you. Right now, you move it towards X Brothers player, and this guy is trying. I mean, he has been trying for quite some time to get those placement points.
On one end, it's A1 Esports going against the lads, and on the other side, it's TRZ going and challenging 1952. Is 1952 going to get eliminated? One knock coming in. Can Entry get the second? I guess he does. Entry is playing an amazing game. He gets the third on the vouch, but the fourth player, oh my god, he finally gets eliminated. He made that impact, and it's amazing how Entry played this game. On the other side, A1 Esports was in fight with ABC that was being third party or looked after by the players of X Brothers as well. But 1952 going down to the 6th position. Kudos to them. They're just refusing to go down, and I just absolutely love this team, to be honest. The way they are playing, 8 points also out of this game, coming back from behind, taking the charts, taking the leaderboard in the previous game, and getting 8 points out of this game. They're going to put in some serious impact. But can A1 Esports make that comeback? They've already got 5 points for themselves. They're still inside the zone. They've got the concrete cover going in their favor. But the lads of ABC and the lads of X Brothers making a sandwich situation for A1 Esports, making it that much difficult. Can they get the chicken out of this game to make a statement and get back to that amazing #1 position they have been holding for so long?
Well, for that, we are going to have to wait just a few more minutes, because right now it is certainly A1 Esports who are taking that fight against ABC. But ABC, to themselves, to their credit, have gotten 10 kills till now. Mad Cat sitting at 4 kill tally, so looking pretty confident when it comes to the placement points. But another team that is looking pretty comfortable when it comes to their placement is going to be X Brothers. Now, X Brothers are a 3-man army. They are getting knocked, but they do have the cover of all those broken vehicles. That is working for them. Also, along with that, the entire compound that this fight between A1 Esports and ABC is taking place, X Brothers, they have the better advantage of being on top of this fight, because they can clearly see as to who is going to be pushing on alongside towards them. And mind you that one of these teams is going to have to push on alongside the position of X Brothers to get into the comfort of the zone. So that is where things could very well favor X Brothers and their positioning. But on the rear is where X Brothers could very well be faulted down towards, because we have TRZ as well as Eccentrics, one final player behind X Brothers.
Up till now, X Brothers have not been challenged by any team from the behind. The backs are clear, but the zone is closing in. That means TRZ will come in from the direction from behind, and A1 Esports is making this move at this point, which is against the height advantage. There's a lot of problems for them. The smoke is also popped in beautifully by X Brothers. So let's see how A1 Esports is going to hold on to the situation. Can they win this fight with ABC also making an impact throwing? And now ABC making the third party shots. It's X Brothers who's going down. A player goes down for them. 2v2 situation, and another Faisal, the last and final player, goes down to TRZ. Shots coming in from behind. X Brothers Esports, they have been sandwiched. They've wasted a lot of time. They had cornered A1 Esports and ABC onto one section of the map, but they really need to make they really had to make an impact. They allowed these lads to come out, and that is where the problem was. Now A1 Esports going against ABC. This is a beautiful game coming in from A1 Esports right now. The two lads made sure they got out of the concrete cover. They have completed the checkpoint, cleared out X Brothers Esports from the scenario. Now they got to deal with ABC that has been surviving there with them on the same angle for quite some time now. They're two lads. Can they get the chicken? That is what they are looking for as well.
We've got 4 teams remaining. We've got 1 player from Eccentric. We've got 2 players from A1 Esports. That is, of course, going to be Jax, and it's on front of our screens. But in that conversation, we've lost Eccentric's final player. So it's only 3 teams remaining. Jax and 6ix9ine has already been knocked. So it is only Jax as of now. Madcap is looking pretty comfortable and confident when it comes down to his positioning, because he is right behind the cover of that perfect nade, and that is going to be it. That's all that it might take. Mad Cat, will you be able to bring that nade towards the placement of A1 Esports as Jax? Because right now Raka is knocked, Raka is down, and Mad Cat utilizing that position, but it is going to be pretty close for Jax. Is not going to allow Mad Cat to push on along towards this. It is also the zone that is pushing against both of these lads. Jax was not able to clutch out this time around, but boy, oh boy, all of that has resulted in TRZ getting that better placement because they were just waiting. They were just waiting to get that chicken. They were just waiting for them to take that fight, and it is TRZ walking away with 9 kills. I mean, perfect, lads. Perfect play coming in from TRZ here.
This is Jax in front of you with the TPP advantage, right? He had the height, and Mad Cat, wow, running out in the open. Amazing scenes in the final circle, and Mad Cat put an amazing pressure on Jax. He got him eventually, but TRZ was at the right place at the right moment to hold on and get those all-important 15 points. But I'm really happy the way the player Mad Cat has got 6 kills out here. We've spoken so much about him. He's an amazing talent, the find of the tournament, and right here, he is the MVP of this game as well. Finally, first time inside the entire stage of the finale, Mad Cat makes it to be the MVP. 5 kills for him, 3 assists, but the way he tackled the situation inside the final circle, that was just amazing. TRZ do go away with the chicken, but the confidence that this lad is going to go away and forward with is the perfect thing that ABC needed at this point.
Absolutely, this was just I still cannot believe. I mean, DRC, the way they backstabbed right there, they were just so sneaky with that play. And in being sneaky, they walked away with 9 kills, yes, but along with a chicken dinner that Jax was so much working towards. He mowed down X Brothers' position. He pushed on alongside ABC's Mad Cat, who had just been troubling Jax and the player 6ix9ine boy for such a long time. But then comes in TRZ and is like, hello, we are here too.
But nothing to take away, Blotter, from Jax as well. The way they came out of the compound, they dealt with X Brothers, they were dealing with ABC also quite well. There was a lot of pressure that Jax alone was putting on both the lads of ABC, NBSQ and Raka. When he got knocked, it was all up to Mad Cat, but he got the moment and he showed his brilliance. Amazing performance coming in. I was backing this guy from the very beginning that he could be the MVP of the tournament, but he missed out on the first 2 days. It's really nice to see him step up on the last and final day in this Miramar game. But boy, oh boy, isn't Bad Intentions making a play, ABC and NBSQ making a play, Mardis 1971 coming out and showing their game. I am absolutely loving it. All the underdog, the less known teams from the region before the start of the tournament are making some serious impacts on the last and final day.
And it is looking good as well, of course, no two ways about it, because that is what you want. You want the final day to not be working towards just one-sided games, but you want the lads to bring in that perfect play, that perfect synergy, that perfect homework situations that will be able to, give them the better advantage of that fight. And that's where we see Bad Intention making a good one. DRZ, of course, were able to do so right now when it comes to, of course, X Brothers. They are trying their level best. And that is what we want to be able to see. But right now, as we move on to the second page, this is where Venom Legends, we did see they were caught off guard. A really salty situation that they found themselves. They're not going to be happy with that. But yep, there we go. That was ABC starting their barrage for the entirety of the game with those kills against Venom Legends.
Yeah, and this was the starting point for ABC in this game, right? And they carried it till the final circle. So that is the kind of confidence you get when you get into initial fights. Thanks to Oppo F19 Pro Moments, we are able to watch these important aspects where these teams capitalize. And I would want ABC to get into more fights, because only that is how you can, if you win those fights without losing teammates or much teammates, you're going to get that confidence that you're going to carry in the final circle. And this was a special moment for Entry, right? Amazing the way he was trying to control that fight. I guess he just got 2 knocks over there. The third guy, he came in from behind, but the way the audacity Entry showed in that fight was amazing. And Jax, this is Jax, right? He's an amazing talent from the region. He goes down to Mad Cat in a 1v fight with the TPP advantage on his side. That is amazing. But look at this, lot of A1 Esports on the roll. They are trying to reclaim their throne back, but 1952 still holding, clutching onto it with a thread. 1 point, that is what separates the two teams at this instant. What do you think, Lotta, about this?
Well, I mean, A1 Esports' Jax almost did get that against Mad Cat. He almost did get that. So all you can say is All right, it's time to start biting your nails, mates, because because fans of 1952 as well as A1 Esports are right now certainly going to be in one of those situations that you just don't know. You just don't know. You've got 3 games still remaining. After this, of course, we'll move on to Erangel, Sandhawk, and then to close the day off Erangel once again. But the way these teams have been just bringing those plays is ferociously incredible to be a part of, and that too happening on the final day, during the finals. Prize pool of $30,000. I mean, what more could we have asked for? I think.
I'm absolutely loving this. Now 3 matches remaining. TRZ getting a chicken at this point, and I think we got to give it to TRZ, right? They got 7 chicken during the quarterfinal stage out of the 10 games. They know how to win matches. Things were really not going in their favor inside the finale stage, but getting a chicken dinner here at this point is suddenly they're going to remember for a long time. It's going to do a hell lot of good for their confidence as well. So these are important things that TRZ needs to take away from the competition, but still there are 3 more matches remaining. They know how to win. Why not try win more matches? You have more action upcoming, and I just can't wait for that. We have got 2 Erangels to go, 1 Sandhawk to go, and there's going to be a shuffle in the overall standing, definitely. And it's going to be amazing. There's a race at the top, but there are also teams trying to come from the behind. It's an amazing, perfect scenario at this point.
Absolutely, dude, because this is just the way a final day is supposed to be, and the way it's looking like, a to and fro situation between 1952 and A1 Esports. We could very well go all the way into the final game to find out which team is it going to be that will walk away with those $10,000, because eventually this is really too close for the moment. But once again, I certainly do hope all the fans are enjoying. Certainly do hope you guys are showcasing the love. If not, please do so, because all the teams, they are showcasing their best. They bring in some wonderful plays, and that is entertaining for us as well as hopefully you guys as well. And as you do showcase that love towards your team, your favorite teams, don't forget us out of the conversation. It's Trooper right here. And that's Brother. And of course, you can follow us on Insta and everything as well. But right now, as the conversation stands, this is going to be a close affair. This is going to be a really close affair. And talking about the 3rd, 4th placement, they are the ones, they are the ones who will have a different fight going on for that 3rd position, 4th position, 5th position. But 1st and 2nd, they have a complete different saga for themselves.
Definitely. We'll find out that pretty soon which teams are going to finish at which spot. But the race at the top is the most interesting, to be honest.
Absolutely. With that, we're going to go on a very, very short break, after which, of course, is going to be a wrangle coming right up. Stick around. We will be right back.
Are you keeping it real? I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the sea? Kicking up the dust, if you know what I mean. We got a good thing going. We got a good thing going on.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching another exclusive interview with, of course, one of the oldest players from the Bangladesh region. Yes, you guessed it right. We've got FD amongst us from the team KSX. So, buddy, how have you been?
এই তো ভালো, তোমার কি অবস্থা?
Now, I've been doing pretty great. So, tell me, FD, you've been one of the old guards of the Bangladesh region. It took you a while, but you finally made it to the finals. So, how does it feel?
It's feel really good. ফাইনালে আসার পরে অনেক ভালো লাগছে, সবাই ফুল অন কনফিডেন্স, সবাই ভালো করেছে।
Now tell me something about how much hours do you actually put behind the game in practicing? How many scrims do you play? So tell us more about your practice routine.
As a competitive player, most of the time আমাদের কাটে গেমের মধ্যেই। প্রতিদিন আমাদের 5 থেকে 6টা স্ক্রিমস মিনিমাম থাকেই, কোনো দিন 12টা 14টাও হয়ে যায়।
How has it been? How's the feeling been? Do your friends give you any special treatment, or they're like, "Hey, buddy, you're just cool"?
ওরা অলওয়েজ বলে, আমার ফ্রেন্ডসরা, যে কি রে পাবজি খেলে সারাদিন, সারাদিন পাবজি খেলিস, অনেক ইউটিউবে দেখে, তোকে ইউটিউবে দেখা যায়, তোর খেলা দেখা যায়, সারা ওয়ার্ল্ডে দেখে। তো একটু ভালো, একটু ফ্রেন্ডসের মধ্যে একটু পপুলার এই আর কি।
Tell me something about your team. Who is that one notorious player in the squad who is always out for some mischievous shenanigans, throughout the games or inside and outside of the game?
তাহলে বলতে হবে এটা KSX মেহরাজ। সে অনেক দুষ্টামি করে ইন গেমের বাহিরে,
লাইক যখন আমরা কলে থাকি সে সবসময় দুষ্টামি করে থাকে, প্লেনে গেলে প্লেনের টাইমে যখন ফ্লাইটের মধ্যে থাকে তখন সে অলের মধ্যে বিভিন্ন রকম সবাইকে ডাকাটাকি করে আর কি।
Now tell me, Ifti, that there was a certain time when your team wasn't really performing up to the mark. Now, how did you guys decide to improve and work on yourself, and how did you get to the finals?
অ্যাকচুয়ালি জাস্ট পিএমসি আগে আমাদের পারফরমেন্স খারাপ যাচ্ছিল।
Right.
অ্যাকচুয়ালি পিএমসি ওর আগে, লাস্ট পিএমসি ওর আগে আমার পারফরমেন্স খারাপ যাচ্ছিল, আমাদের কোনো আইজিএল ছিল না। এরপরে আমরা একজন আইজিএল ম্যানেজ করি, কেএসএক্স
Yeah.
শাকিল, উনি আসার পরে আমাদের পারফরমেন্স আস্তে আস্তে ভালো হতে থাকে, এন্ড আমরা এখন একটা স্টেবল পারফরমেন্সের মধ্যে আছি, এখন ভেরি স্ট্রং রাইট নাও।
What are your future plans for the team? Like after this, you know, you've made it to the finals. You're one of the strongest competitors to win. So after this, are you gonna sign a contract under an org, or are you gonna remain as KSX?
অ্যাকচুয়ালি আমরা প্রথম থেকেই ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল ছিলাম, আমাদের কোনো স্পন্সর ছিল না, আমরা কোনো স্পন্সর নেই বা কোনো অর্গানাইজেশন আন্ডারে যাইনি প্রথম থেকেই। এখন আমরা চাচ্ছি যে নেক্সট পর্যন্ত আমরা এজ ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল থাকতে। আর ফিউচার প্ল্যান হচ্ছে বলতে কোভিড সিচুয়েশনের জন্য পাবজি এবং ইউএস প্লেয়ারদের জন্য অনেক টাইম দিয়ে দিয়েছে।
Right.
তো যতদিন পর্যন্ত স্কুল কলেজ এগুলা বন্ধ আছে, অনলাইনে চলছে, টাইম পাচ্ছি ততদিন পর্যন্ত প্ল্যান কন্টিনিউ করার,
Yeah.
হোপ আরো নেক্সট 1-2 ইয়ার্স ধরে থাকতে পারবো।
So which is that one team that you're really looking out for, and any message for them that you want to deliver?
There's 1952, FS 1952. They're really strong right now. In every
Yeah.
lobby, they're dominating. So we want to send them a message that we'll fight back also.
Any message in particular that you want to send out to them?
সব টিমেরই আপস এন্ড ডাউনস আছে, সো খারাপ সময়ের মধ্যে সাপোর্ট করে যাবেন আমাদেরকে, এবং ওই হোপ আমরা আপনাদের এক্সপেকটেশন অনুযায়ী পারফর্ম করতে পারবো।
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, considering, you've made a really important point, even in your bad times, the support has to stay strong. Well, thank you so much, Ifti, for giving your time coming for the interview. We wish you all the best for your finals.
Are you keeping it real? I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the sea? Kicking up the dust, you know what I mean. We got a good thing going. We got a good thing going on.
Hello and welcome to PubG Mobile Campus Championship Bangladesh region. We are in the finals. This is the final day. The entire saga has finally moved on in towards the final day. Till now, we've got 2 games done. 3 more games remain. But along with that, I mean, it has been entertaining. It has been real good fun. But to bring in more excitement into your games, we have this perfect exclusive event going on right now where you need to chime in and join the game. Play the game for minimum of 20 minutes, 40 minutes, 60 minutes, so on and so forth. And as you do, you will be collecting those points, and those points will lead you to those perfect looking avatars and virtual gifts that everybody wants, right? Everybody wants to be able to showcase that amongst your friends and be like, yo, I supported the team and here we go, I got a gift.
Yep, the gifts can be yours, but let's get back to the game. Lotta here from Lipovka to Primos. It's been a similar kind of playing path we had on the first day for the first 2 Irangles as well. So we've seen yesterday as well for the first 2 Irangles as well. So this has been this it's kind of the same playing path the teams are going to play for the third time here. So it's been a standard playing path that we are witnessing here in this Erangel game. Once again, those Zerki, Silverni area are quite far away. The military area is quite reachable. So we'll find out where the first circle goes this time. But look at where Phantom Esports have gone to. They've gone towards that Milta Power region. So slightly, we'll see what sort of an impact is this going to make. Future Station going back to that Nova Ripnoy region. Bots in Pajamas getting to the military base. TRZ heading towards Primos just the way they like to. But ooh, the zone is going to go towards Silverni shooting range and Georgia Pool. So these teams, all these teams that are outside the zone, they are looting up and they got to rotate. They got to rotate real quickly once again towards the northern part of the map.
Exactly. I mean, for now, it is looking like the teams have decided, or the teams automatically decided that they are going to be going mostly towards the eastern side of the map, the right-hand side of the map towards Lipovka, Milta and all. But the circle did have a shift. The circle did have a curveball right off the bat. So not a comfortable circle for some of these teams, but eventually this is just the first circle. And again, if this shifts all down towards the shooting range being the center, then it could be a tricky affair for so many of these teams that are finding themselves a little further out when it comes to their placement. But alongside all of this, I do want to bring our audience's attention down towards the Kamishki region, towards the top right-hand side of your screens, where we see
Yep.
Martia's players, and a pretty fanned out approach is what we're seeing from the lads of Martia's.
At this level, at this stage, going to Kamishki for that early loot, I think that's a very smart move, to be honest, because they've done their homework. They've noticed it that in the entire campus championship, there have not been a lot of teams going to Kamishki, right? So it's and look at that, already killed coming in. ABC Raka, he's eliminated out of the game, and by the looks of it, by the concentration of the players out there, it looks like KSX have got that kill point. So they got the first blood in this Erangel game. So they got the things they've started things moving in the right direction for KSX at a very early stage in this tournament. But getting back to that conversation for Martis 1971, in this sort of a circle, it's going to open up that easy space. Look at that, where the players of Martis 1971 are, where Hitman is, and where till then that northern half of the zone and the northern part of the river. No other team is present over there, so they got a lot of space to play with. What sort of advantage they are going to take, only time will tell.
Absolutely, this is going to be a tricky, but along with all of that, talking about the trickiness of the circle itself, we do see Venom Legends are in the center, and that maybe finally should be a game-changing event for Venom Legends. Maybe this is a game where we shall see them shine back along when it comes to the aggression and the aggressiveness that we've seen from them earlier, which interestingly is missing in the recent games. But let's see if that will be the case or not. Moving the conversation towards IPG, a team that has been on point when it comes to the aggression stance that they've made. Well. I mean, there's nothing stopping this team, because this team just is on a steamroll as they progress this game. They are hopefully wanting to create a massive lead once again. So is Bad Intention. Talking about Bad Intention, they are having a really good day, I would say, because every single game they started their gameplay, this sort of an attitude to the game yesterday, and every single game they are walking away with decent amount of kills. Yes, the overall standings does put Bad Intention on the 13th spot, but it is far better than what we saw them at the end of day one.
Yep.
with I mean, one digit number is what I'm remembering when it came down to their
6,
points,
yes.
right on the 16th spot.
Yeah, they got just 6 points out of the first 6 games, and then in the last 5 they've got this amazing points for them. Things are going in their favor eventually now. But even esports 1952, that story we have concentrated for quite some time now. Let's go towards more teams. IR slipping out for their opportunity. They were in the top page on the first 2 days. They were doing really good, but now things not really looking in their favor. X Brothers also kind of not so impressive in the last 3 to 4 games that they have played. Just one game where they managed it to the top final circle. Even in the last game, they were looking in an advantageous position, but they did allow 2 teams to come out of that compound where they could have got those important knocks. They did try to get those knocks on Avon Esports, but I think they could have tried to get the knock on ABC as well. They really missed out on the trick at that point. But other teams, Venom Legends, 90 points. They always get those points silently. Let's see what sort of an impact they're going to make now a bit. But it's really good to see ABC and BSQ in the top 6 at this point. I'll be really honest with you.
Yeah, true. Because Trooper, I would completely agree with you when it comes to ABC's play. Right, they have been really ferocious when it came down to their plays earlier, and their synergy as well has been so on point. But finally, as they bring themselves back into that sort of a play, it is looking like they could very well be, climb in real fast, real quick. Because as we've discussed, I mean, first and second place, yes, there's a fight going on between those two based on the points. But then after that, third is going to be Future Station that finds themselves pretty much in the center. But after that third position, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, in fact, I mean, all the way down till 10th, I would say, they're all so close, right? They're so close that one good game is all they need to climb all the way from, ninth, 10th position to the third, fourth position. So very close, interesting days is what we are looking at. But as of now, really early to, to even say that, yep, it's done. It's perfectly confirmed that this team will be the one at the end of the day that will get the chicken dinner and will be, walking away with the $10,000 or the $5,000, because the teams are trying. The teams are changing their play every single game, and that is what makes it that much more interesting to cast and predict. And it brings in the X factor, right?
Yeah, and definitely, as you bring this up, I'm really honored to cast these games, and I got this opportunity to cast, and I absolutely love the way the intensity with these lads have played from the entire region, not only at the finale stage but earlier as well. They were always trying to win, always trying to get those important points. And look at this, yes, just not refuse. That is the kind of attitude from Bangladesh in nutshell. If they are not getting there, they just keep on trying, and I love that sort of attitude from them. And it's been amazing the way they keep on trying to get maximum number of points in each and every single game that they venture. They deny that opposition those easy kills. They make it difficult for the oppositions at every single step. They're using the rotations, learning the game, watching it so closely, playing with all the love that they have and the skill set that they grind themselves with. So it's been an amazing journey to cast these games. And finally, with this sort of a final here brought up with 1952, just one leading with 1 point at this stage. Teams like ABC, Martis 1971 in the top four, Future Station trying to make a comeback. It's like the perfect scenario for an amazing, entertaining finish of a final year. Just watch out here what is going to happen. You never know. This is just the early phase, and now the teams are going to take it slow because they are going to be really cautious. They want to maximize every single opportunity. This is just the game before the penultimate game. They know just two more games after this. They want to take maximum number of players inside the final circle. So a little slow start is exactly what we were expecting and exactly what we have got here.
Absolutely. For now, that is going to be the conversation, and the conversation is looking good for all the teams because we do have all 16 teams surviving as we get down to the first 9 minutes done of the game. This is where things are going to start shifting and turning and curving along with the conversation based on where the circle, the rotation is going to be big, is bringing to the game because, with that, A1 Esports is sinister right here, getting himself the perfect loot. Cherry on top, which is going to get himself set up and paced with a decent amount of kill department utilities. That is going to be really important, right? Because as you walk into this map of Wrangle, everybody knows nooks and corners, but if you've got weapons that are class apart that you picked up from the loot, then that will make it that much more of a difference when it comes to the damage that you're going to be dishing out, the way you're going to be playing the game, and the control and the confidence that you will have, because it automatically happens. I mean, if you've got a level 3 loot set up for you compared to a level 1 vest and stuff that you're going to be roaming about with, it is going to affect your gameplay and to how confidently will you be approaching situations and angles.
Yeah, man. Look at that. They're all in rotations, right? We just saw A1 Esports in rotation. Now Venom Legends on our screens, they are in rotation right now. They're all heading towards this all-important second circle right now. So let's see. And they found Phantom Esports. So Venom Legends once again in the mid-game find a fight for themselves. Steel Shot trying to make an impact. Use those terrain and bridges for him. But the vehicle, he knows exactly that the vehicle is a cover for the guy that he just knocked. And there's a divide that is being executed behind that vehicle. So he just did try to take the fight alone on his hand from those angles, but he really can take an impact here. There's a possibility for him to take one or more knocks out here. But look at that! What is happening? Nightwing from different angle, completely making some serious impact. Phantom Esports might just go down here. This is a very difficult situation they have found themselves in, and Venom Legends, they are hitting them like a storm right now, coming in with all guns blazing. They are forced to pop in those smokes, try to survive a sort of hurdle that they are trying to create, but within seconds they have been hit and hit really bad. Phantom Esports out of the game, all 4 kills in the tally of Venom Legends.
But Venom Legends don't find themselves out of the fight just yet, because it is going to be another team, and it seems like either Bad Intention or was it another team that was bringing in a lot of lead towards the position of Venom Legends. For now, Bad Intention is the only one that I'm looking at, but it seemed like there will be another team right around in the vicinity of these two teams, that's Venom Legend as well as Bad Intentions. For now, Venom Legend, as you perfectly mentioned, will get the better half of that fight, and it is Phantom being the first team sent back into the lobby, and well, no casualties this time around for Venom Legends. So
Yeah.
we did earlier also talk about, you know, how they are finding themselves in a really good placement in the zone, in the circle. So maybe this is the time where they change things around for themselves, and with that, hopefully even climb up on the leaderboard. That will be a conversation that we shall have to see. Yep, there we go. That's the third on the map that I can see, and I did notice that there was K6 Axe. That did bring in a little bit of damage towards the players of Venom Legends, and so it is tricky. It is a tricky situation that Venom Legends find themselves in, where they very well, you could say, are in a bit of a sandwich situation. But the only thing is, which team is going to be committing to this exact conversation is what we shall find out in a few minutes. And apologies, it wasn't K6 Axe, it was bots in pajamas that Venom Legends find themselves in this sandwich situation against.
Yeah, definitely. There are going to be more teams coming into that direction, and they really got. They're wasting a lot of time out in the open, looting up Venom Legends, to be honest. But look at that, the shift of the zone, that hard shift, entirely a school Rozhok Pochinki circle at this point. Ruins also is going to be part of this. Look at the cluster towards the eastern side of the circle border. There are so many teams. They are going to come in from that side. Apartments is going to be it's going to be a sweet spot for a lot of teams to bang in there. Let's see if there are going to be a lot of vehicles that are going to smash inside apartments in that school area.
Absolutely, and for now, this is going to be a really good game, as it has turned into so many teams that will be entering this small little region, and perhaps this time around we could very well see open zone situation as well, but we shall have to wait and find out if that will be the case or not. Talking about the south of your sniper area, where we see K6 Axe as well as Eccentric be in a fight of their own. Now, bringing the conversation towards rotations, Martyrs find themselves making a pretty decent, interesting rotation, but it will be IPG right in front of them when it comes to the rotation. And Infernal Parasites, if they hunker down once they find themselves in the zone, they could gatekeep the exact same rotation that they made against the Martyrs rotation, but we shall have to see. We shall have to see if that will be the case or not. For now, it is 1952 finding their crosshairs against ABC, or rather trying to, because they do have the King of the Hill situation working for them. But eventually, that King of the Hill situation, yes, gives you the information, but also gives other teams the information that, all right, so we've got a pretty easy target on top of the hill.
Yep. And Rozhok Hill it is. Like, everyone knows their way around this hill. So it's a pretty famous spot inside the entire map, and everyone who's ever played this game has definitely been here, held up here. So every team that is playing right now knows entirely how 1952 is going to deal the situation and how they got to counter them. But how far they are going to hold this Rozhok Hill, that is going to be the question for them, because it's a pretty decent sweet spot for them. They've got players in flank position as well. They're playing right now in a split, and multiple teams arriving in Rozhok. Once again, we see NRZ Esports, a team that has failed to sort of impress at the finale stage. They were looking so good. They cemented their position in the semi-final, in the finale quite early during the semi-finale stage. But at the finale, they have been sort of struggling out here. They've not got their groove. Even TRZ did manage to get a chicken dinner. So I would really like to see teams like NRZ showing a statement, somehow making an impact in these finale games, in the remaining 3 matches, and these opportunities that they are left to play with.
Absolutely, and right here we do see a little bit of a stalemate situation that 1922 SharpX finds himself in. One side is going to be ABC, other side is going to be NRZ, but the conversation is where and how will he be placing all of these perfect leads towards, because eventually he does want to be able to convert those into knocks and then kills to walk away with points. But he's so far away on top of that hill that will make it tricky. But boy, oh boy, talking about the circle, talking about the rotations, talking about a curve being thrown, there you go. I mean, an open circle is what this game is going to be bringing to us.
Another hard shift, back to back two hard shifts. You rarely see a hard shift of the zone that hard. And in the third circle, following up with that fourth hard shift, the compounds in between school and Pochinki, that is going to be the thing. So all these IGLs, they could absolutely do nothing. Just don't be really cruel on the audience, because it's really difficult to play when such hard shifts come inside in the game, and it's really in the favor of Venom Legends now. If they want to make a comeback, it's sort of a perfect strategy, it's perfect scenario for them. They've got this entire beautiful compound. Now look at the lobby size, 58 teams inside, 58 players inside the fourth circle, and this has got to start closing in just 3 seconds. It's going to be madness out here in this triangle game. Not a lot of cover to play with. They're going to be open spaces. Teams are going to use their vehicles, they're going to use the smokes out there, so it's going to be a utility game in the end. With the 1952 holding up the Rose Hill at this point, they are going to come in from that side, and look at that, they're going to hold up this position just outside the compound of Venom Legends right now. So let's see what sort of an impact all these lads would eventually make, but for now, it's an amazing game that we are going to witness over there.
Well, while we had a look at all of this, it was the Future Stations players who were annihilating one after the other the players of 1952. So that is another conversation that has taken place on the other side of the map, and that is something that I would love to be able to see as to what is that resulting down to us. We see in the cross, X Brothers is the one who has also taken fights and are actually converting that into their own. A1 Esports is also at the receiving end, as we do see Eccentric bringing in some nade parades. Dude, this is turning like a game that Venom should be able to convert for themselves, or maybe even Future Station.
Yep. With A1 Esports and 1952 constantly featuring in the kill feed on the right hand side is going to open up spaces for the teams that are following them, because 3 games are enough. If you want to make a huge comeback, 3 games are good enough to make a comeback. With A1 Esports 1952, if they can get out of the equation pretty early, it's going to open up spaces for a lot of teams, and if they are good enough to capitalize, this is the perfect opportunity for them. Venom Legends, this can't get better. In any window you're going to peek or scope in, you're going to find oppositions. Get them, hit them, and get those those kills. That is going to be the plain and simple strategy for Venom Legends. Can they do it? Already 1 kill for Steel Shot, 5 kills in total for Venom Legends. They disrupted the entire squad a little while earlier, and they have got all 5 kills in the tally right now. But can they add on to those points? Because a 15 kill, 16 kill game, that is exactly what Venom Legends is eyeing at this point in this game.
Absolutely, that is what they need to get. There's no two ways about it. That is what the communication will be for the side of Venom Legends. But on the other side, when it comes to the communication of other teams, well, there are a lot of teams that are bringing themselves in the kill feed. It is Venom Legends who do take the shot, and Steel Shot will be able to knock the player off ABC. But again, look onto the kill feed. We have Future Station again and again being breathing, is part of that kill feed again and again, and just a brain freeze there from my side. But where exactly is Future Station placed is something I do want to be able to see, and it's just curiosity kills the cat out of a situation in my mind, because yes, we know what exactly placement Venom Legends find themselves in, and they are looking pretty comfortable, and they should be able to get some kills as they do so. But eventually the other teams is what I would love to see of those. Please.
This is real sad. ABC and BSQ eliminated in the 15th spot. They just managed to get inside that top six. They were holding to that 90-point mark. I was expecting a big game coming in from ABC and BSQ because at this point, if they got a big game, they could have touched the top four mark quite easily. And that is not going in their favor for sure now. So they've just got 2 more games remaining to make an impact. Let's see. Aya also coming in from the ruin side with the zone closing in and Venom Legends holding up this compound, this open spaces in front of them. They're going to make some serious impact. Now we move on to the spot. A1 Esports, Dante and Eccentric Infinity running right into it, and Dante eliminated out of the game. This is A1 Esports getting eliminated in the 3rd game and on the hashtag 14 position. Not a good news for a lot of fans. They were trailing with 1 point, and 952 is still part of this action. Magnet getting some important kills. They're going to have some sort of a lead over A1 Esports by the end of this game. How much we cannot say for certain at this point, but definitely they're going to increase that lead. Now they close into the compound. Venom Legends under pressure, but they have a perfect answer for that. And knock on cube right now, but Hexus, he is cooking up a nade. Let's see if that nade is going to hurt. Rafat does not. Rafat jumps out. Eventually, he is down here. So IR definitely able to make serious impact on Venom Legends. They were holding this compound on the edge, but now serious questions being asked onto the lads of Venom Legends, and I don't think they have the correct answers to that at this point.
They most certainly do not. As far as the eye can see, this is looking like Venom Legends are in control, even though Team IR, they tried their level best and came down to the push, but eventually it is going to be Nightwing who is going to extend himself and bring down the players of IR, and Fragger on the receiving end is not going to be able to stand for much. Oh boy, this is going to be the end, and Break being sent back, Cube being sent back. Eventually, the entirety of Team IR has been sent back into the lobby, but with that doing so, now we've got 8 teams remaining, 21 minutes into this fight. X-Brothers, all 4 members alive, going up against the positioning of Bad Intentions. So 2 compounds right next to each other and only separated by the road. The conversation is that right behind them on top of the hill is going to be Future Station. So Bad Intentions, you best believe that team of Future Station will or probably can push on to that compound.
One more question. Who's going to go for that drop at this point? Meanwhile, Future Station holding on to the top of the hills. They're coming from outside. They have a height advantage over the rest of the teams right now. But Bad Intentions, they are in a difficult situation because the new shift to the zone has completely gone away. They have been so unlucky at this point. They got to hold the zone once again. They had this beautiful concrete cover, but now both the compounds of Venom Legends and the compound of Bad Intentions are outside the zone. It's a completely open circle for all these 8 teams that are remaining fighting on here. Kudos to 1952. Look at that. The single lad is still surviving there with 2 points. These are all important points. How many more can he add on? Just as I speak, he adds 1 more to the tally. 3 kills now in the tally of 1952, and that is going to make some serious pressure on A1 Esports. Let's see what sort of an answer they can come back in the remaining 2 games. But look at what Venom Legends is doing right now. 13 of 14, 15 kills. That is what we expected out of them. They've already got 10. Still a lot of enemies remaining in the vicinity, and they have all 4 players remaining. All 4 players standing on their feet. They are going for an amazing game out here.
Absolutely. So is the team of Bad Intentions right here. As we do see, they did take a fight against the players of X-Brothers and eventually are going to be able to convert that into 1 point at least. But right now it is Future Station's Machine who seems to have overextended a bit too much. It is going to be Bad Intentions compound that Future Station did push on along, but it was Bad Intentions that got the better half of that fight. But right now it is IPG's Dictator. Dude, 1 man against 3 is what the conversation from the looks of it seems like, but he was able to get so many of those utilities knocked on down towards the side of Venom Legends position that is something Venom Legends could not retaliate against and have resulted in them falling down just for the moment. But we shall have to see as the teams make that rotation to get themselves into the zone, which team is going to be able to find themselves in a better half of the fight. Because right now, X-Brothers have all 4 members alive. Venom Legends have all 4 members alive. And it is KSX also getting into the fight. Bad Intentions Stalker has been knocked and will be given 1952's Magnet, the final player staffing, is going to be able to steal that kill away.
It's a technical mistake, right? You cannot bang your buggy right away onto the vehicle. You could have created sort of a cover, and you could, it's a technical mistake. There was a lot of space that he could have utilized, but I'm really disappointed the way Stalker goes down there, and definitely the way he created that cover was the reason that he was getting shot at from multiple directions. Rather than cover being useful to him, it became his grave for him. But let's see what the other players of Bad Intentions are going to do, because this has been the difficult part. And look at that. That is exactly how you put your vehicle close to the tree, not like how Stalker did. So his teammates are doing the things and the basic correctly at this point. But now, how Bad Intentions is going to hold on to this situation right now? This has been the difficult part for them, taking maximum players inside the final circle. One more nade from Sherlock, another knock over the players of Bad Intentions. Now, just one last guy remaining. They were looking so good, so in control of the game. But as the zone shifted away from them, they are once again in that difficult situation. But look at Venom Legends. This is a champion team. They came in there, all the 4 lads standing at this point. They are dominating the lobby. 13 kills already in their tally. But so is KSX. They are also trying to make an impact in this game.
They most certainly are. And right here, finally, we do see Bad Intentions Fahim go on to get his teammate revived, and that's going to help them. No, it will not. It is X Brothers who come up on top, and with that, the X Brothers have been beautiful turnover wins been sent back as well, and it is going to be 6 teams that are remaining right now. My apologies, X Brothers are part of the game. They are going to send the team of Fahim back into the lobby. But with that, right now, as we move on along, Magnet, he's the only man surviving for 1952. Yes, all the other lads of the teams are in the open, but Magnet is the only one who is in a compound, and that is looking perfect. Finally, Dictator has been sent back in the lobby thanks to Venom Legends team shot right here, and it was not an easy task. I am certain of it, because Dictator was bringing in a lot of dominating plays against Venom Legends positioning, but eventually Venom Legends are going to be able to get the better half of that fight. Move that conversation towards the players of KSXX. Well, they are slowly and steadily sneak peeking into this game. We have 5 teams remaining. 7th zone is what we're looking at. 7th circle is what we're looking at as of now, and X Brothers' position has been compromised.
Wow, and you gotta give it to Magnet, right? The way he's played, he's been the solo player. One more knock on Faisal, he would not be able to finish him. Yep, he would not be able to finish him, so he could not get that as a point. But overall, 11 points from 1952 in this game. That is the news, and even Esports got none. So the D4 and the top spot is going to extend with 11 more points there. Venom Legends, however, they have a different story on ongoing. 15 kills already. They have touched the mark that we were expecting them to do. Still some enemies out there, and they're knocking the players down. But FT trying to give a fight back to the lads of Venom Legends. FT's just got a knock on them, but they are good in numbers. They're going to they're going to regroup. They're going to come back on, and let's see if any team has an answer to Venom Legends. The way they're going, definitely they're going for the chicken here. But FT's making some serious trouble onto the lads of Venom Legends. Can he stop them in the trail and in their search for this chicken dinner? We are going to find that out pretty soon.
With that, we've got only 2 teams remaining. X Brothers final player King has been sent back to the lobby. A decent game for X Brothers as well, as they walk away with 15 points for themselves with the 5 kills and the placement points combined. K6 Sax, we have FT as well as Hinox are the only 2 lads surviving, but they find themselves against the players of Venom Legends, and Venom Legends have been on a roll throughout this game. So now it is going to be a tricky affair for both these teams, as it is just the shelter that is going to be separating the two, after which of course there is no cover, but some team has got to have to make that push, and the push as of now is going to be coming in favor of KSX Axe, because we do see Steel Shot has been knocked from the side of Venom Legends. It is Frypan holding the reign from the lads of KSX Axe. If TP coming up on top, but eventually will be knocked. Venom Legends is now down to a 1-man army. It is not going to be an easy conversation, rather a 2-man army, because it is KSX Axe, Sakil, who is the only man surviving for KSX, and they have just let this go. The push was almost there, but sadly it will not work out for them. Steel Shot pushing on alongside this player. Sakil find themselves the only one. This is a 2v1 affair. For how long are you going to be able to stay out there, mate? This is not going to be an easy one, but eventually he will go down, and Venom Legends walk away with 33 points. 33 points. Talk about a good game.
Talk about a good game. The way they have come like a storm, right? Exactly what we were talking. Whenever they hit like a storm. Look at the number of damage. 3116. Wow. Amazing gameplay coming in from Venom Legends. And look at the jump inside the overall standing. They're already on the hashtag 4 position. Amazing game coming in from Venom Legends. They've just become the 4th Centurion inside this overall race, inside the Campus Championship finale Bangladesh right now. And what a game we have just witnessed from this team. It's 18 kill chicken dinner with just 2 games to go. They have just found the right rhythm and momentum. How far they can go ahead in the overall standing, that is what we are eyeing at this point. And if they get 33 points in the next 2 games as well, you never know. You never know what can happen out there.
Absolutely, Trooper, because I'm just going through my notes, right? And 18 kills is the
Yes,
unbelievable. I mean, the only time that we've actually seen this amount of kill, and this is phenomenal turnover wins. And Steel Shot right here, the man who is standing out from the side of Venom Legends, of course, with 6 kills, 2 assists, 859 damage. I mean, again, when it came to this game, Venom Legends played their game perfectly, you know. They played their cards right. When they did have the circle favoring them, they found the compound, stuck to it, worked towards getting information, and then converted the information into some good points and kills. When the circle went away from them, they made that rotation, again found themselves a decent part of the circle, and so they played their comfortable game. And I just hope that next, because eventually we do want to be able to see the fight between the top 3 or the top 4 of the leaderboard.
So, is it what I'm imagining right now that 1952 Avon Esports, Future Station, and Venom Legends,
Yep.
these four teams are part of the top four with just two matches remaining? Wow, that is going to be amazing. But look at that, the top four players from this game: Steel Shot, Magnet, Ruffert, Ifty. Oh, amazing! Ifty was just so amazing in that final circle. He made it life difficult for the lads of Venom Legends, but luckily they had the numbers there, and that was the important thing. Ruffert being that amazing IGL, not making those rookie mistakes coming in from the lads of bad intentions. He got all his four players from the correct angles into the right positions and at the right spot so that they could revive themselves or they could regroup themselves even if a knock is made during the process. And this was an amazing game, and the experience always comes in, and that is exactly how Venom Legends has executed. There was the cover for them that they utilize, and that is what we always say: when you have the zone, you got to maximize it. 33 points. I don't think any other team got that many points in any single game in the entire finale, and Venom Legends has done it. 18 kill chicken dinner right in front of you.
Absolutely. I mean, in certain sense, history being created for the first time ever in this tournament right here with 18 kills. That itself being a Herculean task to try and achieve. But along with that, 33 points, looking pretty ferocious right there. I mean, there's sting in the entire lobby. But again, I mean, take it back to the fight itself that we noticed, right? K6 Axe, they had three players. The way they made that push itself was not really at fault because they tried to create the flank angle as well, right? There was the gutter region, the sewer region, from where K6 Ifty and finally where the game actually brought itself down to. The push that was made was actually on point, but it's just Venom Legends players are being so much in control and so on point and so very quick. As soon as the revival was brought in, Frypan was the only one at one point in time who was, taking care of the push. But eventually that fight, or rather that push, that was supposed to be a 3v2 situation, converted into Venom Legends' favor. So what do you think though, Trooper? Because I am trying to understand that, and that will of course be showcased right here through the Oppo F19 Pro moments, but an interesting turn of events.
Yeah, honestly, Venom Legends did hold on to their nerves, and at a moment when IR was closing in, it really looked difficult for Venom Legends to hold on. But that knock with that nade that we just saw in the Oppo F19 Pro moments from Nightwing, I think that was the turning point of that fight. And since that point onwards, the way they came inside the circles, dominated everyone. And 1952, don't look at that, they're extending the lead at this stage of the finale. They are extending the lead, and as much as we praise Magnet for the gameplay that he's shown here, it's amazing. 1952, they were outside the zone on the Rozok Hill when the next zone shaped in. They found themselves losing players with that rotation. Venom Legends were hurting them. But the way Magnet survived over there, he was just not lying there throwing smokes, trying to survive. He was hurting opponents inside the vicinity. He was not allowing them to close in on important points, on important key positions, just being the solo player there. And kudos to him, the way he played in that circle in the final game, in this last game. Amazing. Important points for them, extending the lead. Now it's going to make things difficult for Avon Esports.
Boy, oh boy, it is certainly going to make things really difficult for these teams, because eventually the way this is turning out to be, it could, again, the difference in terms of the points between 1, 2, 3 and 4, there is a little bit of a difference over there. It's not really that easy, but with games like these, with 18 kill games, the difference is something that can very well be caught up to in 2 games that are remaining. We've got Sanhok coming right up after this, and then finally to close the deal, it will be a wrangle that we shall find ourselves all over again, or rather we'll find these teams, these players all over again. But having a look at Venom Legends players, a decent turn of events, a decent outing for them finally brought in from this game.
Definitely, and Venom Legends couldn't have done this better. They're in the hashtag 4 position right now, very close to where Future Station is. Definitely, they're going to put them under pressure now, Future Station. But KSX also crossing that 100-point mark, right? So this is an important scenario for all these teams. KSX, if they can get something of a game, what Venom Legends have done right now, we know they certainly can. They were leading the charge during the semifinals, so they know how to get the kills. can they convert one of the either games? So it's also important because the prize pool is also different. The money on the positions are also very important. So all those things are also what these lads would be tying. The title definitely 1952 or even esports is going away with it, because just 2 games remaining. KSX, I would like to feel that it's going to be fairly difficult for them, but they really got to go as far as they can.
Most certainly, and so do all the other teams. I mean, you just saw Venom Legends, walk away with 33 points from one single game. So that's all that these teams need to try and do as well. With that, we have 2 games remaining. But before we jump into this game of Sandhawk, we're going to go on a very, very short break. Stick around. We're going to be right back.
Are you keeping it real? I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the sea? Kicking up the dust, if you know what I mean. We got a good thing going. We got a good thing going on.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have an exclusive interview lined up with Matt Cat, all the way from ABC NBSQ. So, what up, buddy? How are you doing?
আমি ভালো আছি, আপনি ভালো আছেন তো?
Yeah, I'm doing great. But my first question will be, of course, congratulations on that amazing performance throughout the semi-finals. So, tell me more about your training regime.
আমরা আসলে অনেকদিন ধরেই খেলতেছি এই সব টুর্নামেন্ট, লোকাল টুর্নামেন্ট গুলো। ট্রেনিং বলতে, ট্রেনিং এ আমরা প্রতিদিন সকাল থেকেই ট্রেনিং শুরু হয়ে যায় আমাদের। স্ক্রিমস টুর্নামেন্টস, লোকাল টুর্নামেন্ট যতগুলো আছে আমরা সব খেলি, রাতে স্ক্রিম থাকে, সবগুলো থেকে প্র্যাকটিস করি। আমরা সিনার্জি মেনটেন করার চেষ্টা করি, সিনার্জিটা যত সম্ভব আমরা ভালো থেকে ভালো করার চেষ্টা করি।
Absolutely. I mean, how difficult has it been for you to make it this far? Any initial challenges that you encountered?
ইনিশিয়াল চ্যালেঞ্জেস হ্যাঁ মোটামুটি থাকে, যেমন টিম বানাতে সময় লাগে, একটু টিমের কোঅর্ডিনেশন আসতে একটু সময় লাগে, দেন আস্তে আস্তে অনেক মানে বিল্ড আপ হতে যত সময় লাগে, দেন প্লেয়ার চেঞ্জ হয়, দেন নিউ রোস্টার, নিউ সিনার্জি, একটু ঝামেলা তো হয়।
As to which is that one player across all regions that you really look up to?
আই রিয়েলি লুক আপ টু, যখন ইন্ডিয়াতে ম্যাচ গেম চলতো, আই রিয়েলি লুক আপ টু স্কাউট।
All right.
হি ইজ অ্যান অ্যামেজিং প্লেয়ার। ওর থেকে অনেক কিছু শেখার আছে, এখনো শিখতেছি। ওর আগের ভিডিওগুলো দেখি এখনো সবসময়, দেখে প্র্যাকটিস করি আমরা ট্রেনিং গ্রাউন্ডে গিয়ে, যে ও পারলে আমরা কেন পারবো না।
The next question, however, will be money or fame, and why?
তো আমি যদি বলি টাকা অথবা ফেম, তো আমি টাকাটা আমি চুজ করবো, বিকজ আমরা সবাই এখন পড়ালেখা করতেছে, যারা পাবজি মোটামুটি যারা খেলতেছে সবাই পড়ালেখা করতেছে। তো আমাদের যদি আমরা যেহেতু একটা মিডল ক্লাস ফ্যামিলি থেকে বিলং করি, আমরা টাকা আমাদের দরকার হয়। আমরা একটা উঠতি বয়সের একটা ছেলে আমরা, তো আমরা এখন পাবজি থেকে যদি আমাদের কিছু টাকা ইনকাম হয়, সেটা আমাদের জন্য অনেক বেটার হবে।
So it's definitely one of the problems that you have to address to. So how are you thinking to go around with this?
আসলে আমরা এই রোটেশন নিয়ে এখনো কাজ করতেছি। রোটেশন আমাদের সবসময় একটা প্রবলেম হয়েছে, এখনো হচ্ছে। তো রোটেশন অবশ্যই আমাদের জোন টু জোন খেলা দরকার। মানে আমরা চেষ্টা করি যে জোন টু জোন খেলার জন্য, বাট মাঝে মাঝে জোনটা ফেভার করে না, যার কারণে রোটেশনে আমরা একটু আটকে যাই। তো এরকম আমরা রোটেশন নিয়ে এখনো কাজ করতেছি, আশা করি আমরা সামনে রোটেশন নিয়ে ভালো কিছু করতে পারবো।
So how has your team really been helping you out in all those fights?
অবভিয়াসলি দে আর হেল্প, ওরা আমাকে অনেক সাহায্য করতেছে যে আমি সামনে এগিয়ে যেন কিলগুলো নিতে পারি, সামনে আমি যেন ফ্রন্টে খেলতে পারি। ওরা আমাকে সাপোর্ট দিচ্ছে, এনাফ সাপোর্ট দিচ্ছে আমি বলবো, যার কারণেই আমি পারফর্ম করতে পারছি। তো সলো কখনো কেউ পারফর্ম করতে পারে না, বিকজ টিম পারফরমেন্সটাই আসল। টিম যদি পারফর্ম করে, আমি একা অবশ্যই পারফর্ম করতে পারবো।
But now the next question is going to be really interesting. Any particular team that you are going to be eyeing out for in the finals?
অবশ্যই বলবো A1 Esports, বিকজ তার একটা পিএমজিসি টিম, তাদের এক্সপিরিয়েন্স অনেক বেশি, আমাদের চেয়ে অনেক বেশি। আমরা অবশ্যই ওদের লুক আপ করবো, যে ওরা একটু মানে ওদের সাথে যেন আমাদের একটু কমই ক্ল্যাশ হয়।
But the next question, you've been playing so well, you've collected a lot of fandom lately. So any message for your fans?
ফ্যানদের জন্য একটাই কথা বলবো, যে আপনারা এতদিন সাপোর্ট করতেছেন, আশা করি আগেও সাপোর্ট করবেন, কাউকে হেট দিবেন না। টিমের একদিন হয়তো ভালো পারফরমেন্স করবে, পরের দিন খারাপ করতেই পারে, এটা খুবই স্বাভাবিক, এটা একটা পার্ট। তো সবাইকে সাপোর্ট করবেন, লাভ ওয়ান সাপোর্ট এভরিওয়ান, এটা হচ্ছে কথা। আশা করি সামনেও সাপোর্ট করবেন।
I mean, it's a pleasure having you over here, buddy. Thank you so much for joining us with this amazing interview. We wish you all the best for the finals. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching an exclusive interview with another dark horse into this tournament. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am talking about Flint coming all the way up here for an interview from the side of Martyrs 1971. So, Flint, how are you doing?
All good.
Can you sum up your journey so far? Like, how have you been playing? What were your challenges till you made it to the finals?
বাংলাদেশে আন্ডারডগ হয়ে জার্নিটা অনেক কঠিন ছিল, তাও সেই রাউন্ড 1 থেকে শুরু করে এখনকার যে রাউন্ড খেলছি, দ্যাট ওয়াজন্ট ইজি, বাট এসেছি। তারপর বিভিন্ন টাইপের ফ্যামিলি প্রবলেমস, ডিভাইস প্রবলেমস, অনেক কিছু পার করে এখানে আসা, ডেডিকেশন নিয়েই। তো জার্নিটা ইজি ছিল না, আবার অনেকটা ইজি।
Now let's talk about your practice regime, right? How many hours do you dedicate to the game per day, and how do you practice? You know, how much time do you spend in the training grounds, maybe inside the scrims? How do you synergize? How do you communicate with your teammates?
ডেইলি 5 থেকে 6 ঘন্টা আমরা ট্রেনিং গ্রাউন্ডে কাটাই। তারপর টিডিএম আমরা টিমমেটরা মিলে 2v2, 1 3v3 এই টাইপ খেলি। তারপর স্ক্রিমস তো থাকেই, 10 থেকে 12টা ম্যাচ, টুর্নামেন্ট লোকাল, তারপর আবার স্ক্রিমস টুর্নামেন্ট এগুলো শেষ করে এসে আমরা আবার হলো এগুলো নিয়ে ডিসকাস করি, কি ভুল হলো সেটা নিয়ে কাজ করি। এটাই একদিনে চলে যায়।
Now you are coming to that phase where you're getting that popularity, and with it comes a lot of money, right? So what would you prefer more, money or fame?
ফেম, কারণ ফেমের দ্বারা হলো আমি আরো পপুলারিটি পাবো, আর হলো মানুষ আমাকে জানবে, আমি আরো বিভিন্ন টিম থেকে হয়তো অফার পাবো, আরো ভালো আমরা করার ট্রাই করতে পারবো। এটাই।
So now tell me, what is more important according to you, gun skills or positioning in the game of PubG Mobile?
পজিশনিং।
And why?
Because all time gun skills don't work, but positioning all times works.
Very well. So now tell me that you've been prioritizing on your placement points more in terms of getting yourself in comparison with the kills. So is this the same strat that you're going to go into the finals with, or are you going to be focusing on maybe maintaining a balance between your kill points and your positioning points?
আমরা ফাইনালে যাওয়ার পরে আরো অ্যাগ্রেসিভ ভাবে খেলা ট্রাই করবো। এখন আমরা শুধু প্লেসমেন্ট পয়েন্টের উপর দেখছি, কিন্তু ফাইনালে যাওয়ার পর উইল ট্রাই টু টেক ফাইটস, ট্রাই টু টেক কিলস, আর্লি কিল।
Now we've seen that you've been playing really well in Sandhawk, right? So what about the other maps? Are you putting some extra hours into improvising on Erangel and Miramar?
Yes, in Sanhok we have been playing pretty good, but মিরামার এবং এরাঙ্গেলে আমরা বেশিরভাগ রোটেশনে কট হচ্ছি, তো আই এম ওয়ার্কিং অন রোটেশনস মেইনলি, রোটেশনস আর্লি ফাইট।
So any particular player across all regions, so not just Bangladeshi region, across all region, any one individual player that has really impressed you and you look up to him?
That's Scout from